as though they were. Hallelujah. We're moving on in our service. Hallelujah.
God is so good.
Yes, God.
God is so good. Why don't you say that? God is so good. He's so good. He's so good to me. He answers prayer. Say it. He answers prayer. Yes, he does. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. He answers prayer. He's so good to me. I love him so. I love him so. Hallelujah. I love him so. I love him so. He's so good. He's so good. God is so good. God is. Put your hand this way. Pray for Armand Bailey, who's had surgery on his ankle here. Which one is that right here? Father, in the name of Jesus, health and healing in his body. Be stronger than before, better than before. God is so good. Guard and protect him. Let you and keep him. College. His grades will be good. We will set a hedge around him. We will keep him from the evil one. And he comes to kill, steal, and destroy. But you come and give him life everlasting. God is so good. He will strengthen his heart, and his mind, and in his spirit. He will serve you all the days of his life. His mind stayed on you. As he calls upon your name, he will recognize that you are good to him. In Jesus' name. He answers prayer. We have not spent God's money foolishly. We have not spent it foolishly on Christmas gifts. We have not spent God's money on a sale for ourselves. We have not spent God's money for our shoes. We have not spent God's money. We have prepared a gift for you, God. And we will honor you with a gift all the days of our life. We reserved a special place for you. with our time, with our talents, with our treasure. We will not pilfer them away. We will not give them away. We have set a place for you as you budget for this new year. We budgeted in a gift for you, God. As we prepared saving of our money for a particular item, we have budgeted in for you, God. We have not left you out with what you have granted us to receive. And for that, we say thank you. We give back to you only that which you have given from us, which comes from your hands. Let the people of God say in Jesus' name. Amen. Clap your hands for offering time in the house of the Lord. Amen. You've prepared a gift for God and for God's house. We have not spent God's money, amen, unwisely. We've used what talents, gifts, and ability God has given us to sow back into his kingdom. Sister Leslie, thank you for that testimony. She said, I command my hands, my body to praise the Lord. Come on, when you have a sickness in your body, come on, you got arthritis, you got lupus, you got a backache, you got a toe ache, you got a headache, you got to command your body. Get in line with the will of God. Amen, someone? You get depressed and you feel like staying in your bed under the covers. Command your body to get up and pray. Is that all right? When you feel like staying home on Thursday night, Bible class, because it's going to be raining, it's going to be cold, it's going to be wet. Command your body to get to church. Okay, I only heard 1.5 amens. It's cold, it's wet. Command yourself to come to the 9 a.m. service. Brother Robert said, I'm on time for the 9 a.m. service. Got your hands for that.
Go ahead now.
You all that come to the 9 a.m. service and then leave after, you come at 9:45, you did not come to the 9 a.m. service, all right? I'm just letting you know that right now. You leave out. No. Don't try to come to the 9 a.m. service at 9:45 and then leave out.
Preach word.
And not say you went to the 9 a.m. service because you didn't come to the 9 a.m. service. You caught the end of the 9 a.m. service. So come, if you're going to commit to the 9 a.m. service, get here on time. Is that all right?
Go ahead now.
I only heard 2 amens. That's all right. All right. I heard when I'm going to try. Okay, that's good. Okay, good. Okay, Robert, you came at 9:15, so you got to work on that. All right.
I won't be late. I'll make it.
Oh, you won't be late? Okay. Gotta come a little earlier, man.
I know.
All right.
Let's get her best.
It's going to be okay, Robert. All right, you have your gifts in your hand of your tithe and of your offering. Please, would you stand on your feet with them? We're going to give us unto the Lord. Many of you have given electronically already. You can give with your credit or debit card to the left or to your right. Just stand off to the side so that we can give by you. If everyone would walk around, whether you've given on your phone or not, just walk around. That would be really good. I thank the hospitality team for their service today, and ambassadors, and prepared got the Christmas dinner ready for us this afternoon at 2 o'clock. So hopefully many of you all can make that. Let us pray. The worship team is going to lead us in the song as we march around. God, you've been so good to us, and for that we say thank you. Again, we've come with our gifts to give back to you. Only what comes from your hands. We thank you for entrusting it to us, entrusting this to us, and help us to be faithful and good stewards of what you've given us. This is our prayer and praise we offer to you now. Let the people of God say in Jesus' name, amen. God bless you. Please stand on your feet, face the center aisle, and proceed from the rear. Merry Christmas to them. Brother Marcus, would you come up? Merry Christmas to you. Merry Christmas to you. Bless you. Merry Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas.
It's so good to be in the house of the Lord today. Well, come on, take with you, Brother Watts. This is for you. I have a gift for you. Come on, straight down here. Come on down. This is for Brother Thomas Wells. He's got to work this afternoon. And I wanted to acknowledge some of our workers. And he's been faithful at the sound booth every week. We love you. We appreciate you. We thank God for you. This is a small gift to say thank you for all you do to keep it.
Amen.
We're going to just acknowledge some workers, and we're probably going to do this for quite some time, only because we lose some members. Because when you don't acknowledge somebody, they quit the church. So we're going to be, I know, you already know how it is. So Kevin, there'll be a few less people here, unfortunately, just because you know. Yeah, it's like Cindy, when we celebrate Levi's birthday, he'd be, what about me? It's not your day, man. Sit down. We ain't shopping for you today. He had a little attitude, but he ain't got no other place to go. He got to come back home. Y'all grown, y'all can go somewhere. Cindy got to come back home, you know. But don't have an attitude when somebody don't acknowledge you. Is that all right? Yeah. You say amen now, but you know me. All right, let's go. I think I want to go to Philippians is where I want to take our text, chapter number 2. Philippians chapter number 2 is where we want to go. God for each and every one of you. T, it's good to see you here from school. Stand up, testify. Tell us what school you're going to and what you got going on, if you would, please. Good. One day you'll be running health and social services right here in Solano County. We need a director of health and social services. We need the first female black health and social service director in Solano County. Yes. Yeah, they make a couple $100,000 a year, so it's all right. Yeah, so, all right, be nice to her so she'll come back. God bless you. We appreciate you. Jonathan's going to get baptized today. Sunday school time. So thank you, Lord, for that. Did I say Philippians chapter 2?
Yeah.
All right, that's where we're going to go. Aria, it's good to see you here today. Ariana works at she works at the Starbucks here in the corner. And she has not brought me a black iced tea yet. I figure if I put her over, put her on blast, maybe I'll get one. I'm just saying, she worked right here, and she live up here. And she see my car out here. I'm just saying. I know you drive by, I know you see me. I know she see me here. That's all right. That's okay. Philippians chapter number 2. And I say to you, you have your reward. All right, it says this in Philippians chapter number 2, verse number 12. Oh, let's just acknowledge our First Lady, the lovely Kelly. Kelly, can you stand up and say a word for the audience, please, if you would? All right, we are here. Pray for Levi. He's traveling up from Southern California via bus, and he gets here safely tonight. Philippians chapter number 2, verse number 12 says, "Wherefore, my beloved, as as ye have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, but now much more in my absence. Work out your own salvation with fear and trembling. Let's read verse 12 together. Philippians chapter 2, reading from the King James Version, verse number 12. I already read. Wherefore, my beloved, not as in my presence only, but what? Do what? With fear and trembling. Work. I like to preach and help the Lord lead you in the Holy Ghost. Simply work it out. Somebody say, work it out. Thank you, sir. Work it out. Father, bless the word today. Go forth with power and anointing. Loose every wicked band, every heavy burden. Loose every stronghold in this place and help us to work it out. And everybody say in Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen. This here, work it out, does not mean that you should work for salvation, but work out the salvation that's already been given to you. So you've already been gifted with it. Now this is, and this would also denounce the idea of once saved, always saved. Because then you would, if you would have to work out something, right, there wouldn't be a need for God to put his word, work out your own salvation with fear and trembling if you were saved and was always saved. Right? Amen. You're always on the team, whether you work out or not. No, it doesn't go that way. Isn't that right? Miss workouts and you off the team. Isn't that right? Stop paying your Costco card and guess what? You don't get no big pack of toilet papers. All right, you gotta pay. I don't know where we get that at. You know that you can stop praying, stop fasting, stop living for the Lord. I'm sealed, I'm saved, and so no, you have to work this salvation out. And the Bible says, work it out how? With fear and trembling. It would imply a sense of earnestness. It would imply a sense of reverence and awe of God as you're working out your salvation with fear and trembling. Again, you're not working for salvation to obtain it. You're working out the salvation that's already been given to you. It's already been ascribed. Now I know, amen, many have the school of thought that it doesn't take all that. But don't let yourself be tricked, bamboozled, or hoodwinked by somebody else's form of salvation. Ms. Keisha testified about some folks. She was at a place where they had all said they were saved, and they was passing around drinks. You know, in the salvation that I'm trying to work out, I'm trying to not be drunk with wine. And I'm trying to keep my body and my flesh under subjection. Salvation that I'm trying to work out. I'm trying to come out from among them and be separate, says the Lord of hosts. The salvation I'm trying to work out. I'm just trying to make a difference in my life. Does that make sense to anybody here? And so there's some things that you got to work out. It happens in every field that you're in. And if you're on the golf field, you got to work out your golf plan and with practice and execution. If you're on a football field, you got to work it out, the plays and practice. There's in every area, in every avenue, and the job that you're in. If you're in carpentry, you got to work out and hone your skills, because if not, you'll get left behind. If you don't grow in them, your business will decline. They'll stop calling you after a while. And so work out your craft is what is called for in this place. The Greek phrase here, work out, denotes an expression of manifestation. It's already been revealed to you. Now work out that which is revealed to you. You already know it. It's like when you have an understanding of a problem, but you got to work through the problem. You already have an understanding of what's necessary. That's why some of us will take on a task or not take on a task, because you understand the gravity of it. You know the weight of it. It's just like you get offered a promotion And you know it's going to require more travel, it's going to require more time, it's going to require more energy. Some of you will say, no, I already understand what's needed of me, what's asked of me, and so I don't want to give it, so I'll stay where I am. But if I say yes to it, then I'm going to have to work that out. So they say, wait a minute, you knew what was required before you took the job. Why did you take it if you didn't know? You knew it was required. Here's the deal that is on the table is a life for life. God has given his life. In exchange, we give ours. And that's the deal you got to work out. What's the deal you got to work? You got to work out your own life. Many places people told us, well, salvation costs you nothing. No, hold on a second. Touch your neighbor and say, it costs God his life. And it, in return, will cost your life. That's the deal that's on the table. It would be unfair for me to give my life and you not give yours. It's unfair to do that. It would be unfair. I told Levi and Simeon, I wiped your behinds. One day you might have to wipe mine. Listen, I ain't doing it. You got to pay somebody to do that. That's the deal. That's on the table. Are you with me here? It's the deal. I've given my life to you. Now I'm expecting you to give yours in return. Honor your mother and your father. Y'all heard this. Those around young enough to remember this message. Remember your daddy preaching, Simeon. You won't have to, So that's the deal on the table. I've given my life for you. You have to now give yours in return. It would be unfair to ask anything else. I'm going to preach a message one day called Deal or No Deal. Right? You gotta figure out this is what I'm willing to give. And so do it how? With fear and with trembling, with a sense of earnestness, with a sense of the burden of the expectation that has been given to us, the actualization of this salvation that we must work out. If you would turn real quickly, and we'll come back to Philippians, if you can leave your finger in there, but turn, if you would, to Ephesians chapter number 5. And so this really speaks to how we are to walk this walk or work this out. In Ephesians chapter number 5 and in verse number 15. And I'll talk just for a few more minutes and then we'll go. Enjoy all their testimonies today. We have, let's see, next Sunday is the last Sunday of the year. And we'll have no service on Thursday this week. We will have noonday prayer on Tuesday. The noonday prayer on Tuesday. We will have noonday prayer on Thursday. We won't Wednesday's Christmas, but we will have noonday prayer on Tuesday, and we will on Thursday. But no evening prayer on Friday. But so enjoy your time with family and friends. But we want you to remember to work it out. Someone say, work it out. And thank you to the food program that serves and will be serving on Monday, given to those that need. If anyone's off and want to come help with that, you're welcome to do so. Ephesians chapter number 5, and I'll be preaching next Sunday at a church in Stockton for a friend who twisted my arm. And so I'm trying to work that out. Amen. New Year's Eve, we have New Year's Eve service on. It's going to be lit. Did I say that right? Yeah. It's going to be lit. All right. Did I say that right, Kelly? That's right, man. I'm trying to work it out, man. I'm trying to get into the new century here. We had a great Christmas service. Wasn't it wonderful? Thanks for that. We had a wonderful time. And we've done some praise and worship and the praise team, and we just had a wonderful time with the Lord. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. Let's read verse 15 together. Ready to read. See then that ye walk what? Not as what? But as wise. And so to work this salvation out, we must walk circumspectly. So when you look at something circumspectly, you're looking around on all sides of it. Like if you're going to, before you purchase a car, you're checking it out, you're kicking the tires, and you're looking underneath the hood, you're being critical of it, you're making yourself more aware of it. So work out this salvation in a circumspect way, where you're looking at every side, every avenue. What is required? What do you want from me? What do you need from me? We do the same thing in a job. If you take a job, if you take a promotion, you say, what's required of me? How much time am I to give to this? How much is expected of me? A task that you are assigned on a job. And so when you look at it in a circumspect manner, you're cautious. And not only cautious, but you're prudent. We're going to do this right. Hallelujah. I'm going to honor God with this salvation as I work it out and walk it out. I'm going to be watchful. I'm going to be examining my own self, my thinking, my talk, my speech, my behavior, that it might honor God, that it might glorify the King. Same with anyone that I'm representing as ambassadors for Christ. I want to make sure I'm in my dress, in my walk, in my talk. I want to make sure, does this glorify you? Does this honor you? Are you with me here? Before when you go out shopping and get those sales, and amen, it doesn't matter, amen, how cheap it is, but if it don't look good on you, I'm not talking about, it's not appropriate for you. Amen. All right, it's all right. Yeah. So work it out. The Lord want me to represent His kingdom in this manner and in this way. Does that make sense, someone here? So work out your own salvation with fear and trembling, examining it carefully, every circumstance that could arise. Hallelujah. When will you call upon me? When will I be needed? Am I willing to avail myself to this? Hallelujah. And you have always obeyed. The Apostle Paul said, in my presence, how much more should you in my absence? Whether I feel you there or if I don't feel you, I know that you're there. I'm going to work it out. Hallelujah. Whether I hear your voice or not, I'm going to work it out. There was a writing that was found in one of someone hiding from the concentration camps in Germany. One of the Jews, they suppose, who have written it etched in the wall. I believe in love when I'm alone. I believe in the sun when it's not shining. And I believe in God when He's silent. And so even when I don't hear you, even when I don't feel you, I know that you're there. And even though, hallelujah, and I don't even see, hallelujah, my next step, I know you'll be there when I take it. And so, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. When we walk circumspect, amen, it will examine all of the facts. Look at Ephesians chapter 5 and verse number 16. We'll read it together. Ready, read. Redeeming the what? Because the days are evil. You see it. And so, amen, let there be a sense of urgency in this last time that we're in. Oh, speaking of that, we're starting our New Year cleansing fast. It's called Be Ready. Look at your neighbor and say, Be Ready. Amen. It's a time of consecration, a time of devotion. It's a time of cleansing ourselves. Amen. Be ready. Walk circumspect during those times. Amen. You can give me a green tea at that time with no caffeine in it. And so that's the time. Be ready. Amen. To consecrate yourself, to give over to devotion. Please participate in the New Year cleansing fast. Please learn to deny your flesh. Take a look at it. Ask God to help you to give over to devotion. Help me to work out this walk. Help me to not just obey my flesh, to give it what it wants, when it wants. Help me to learn to deny it and work out this salvation that you've given me. In this way, he says, why? Because the days are evil. Why? Because we're in trying times. Because we're in difficult times. It's a difficult season that we're in. And verse number 17 says, let's read it together. Wherefore what? Not unwise, but what? Understanding what? The will of the